Let me talk to you about a very common scenario. You're at home, left to your own devices, wrapped up in your own thoughts, minding your own business, then all of a sudden you get this weird sensation, this feeling that you want to eat some food that you know isn't going to be healthy and good for your progress. Perhaps you're sat there and you hear the cupboard door knocking, and inside the cupboard door is that food that you know that you shouldn't be eating. Yet for some reason you go ahead and you delve into that junk food or that negative behaviour, and before you know it you start feeling guilty about that and you've actually sabotaged your progress. Now, does that sound familiar to you? Have you ever had that before, or somebody that you know had that situation? I know I have before. And what's interesting about that situation is that the little thing that gets in the way, well, that's called a craving. Now, my name's Tommy Gentleman, and by now you should know that because you're following the Get Lean Blueprint online videos that take you on a journey through 3 areas that I believe everyone needs to work on and everyone needs to engage with in order to get results. Those areas being in the kitchen, in the gym, and in the mind. And it's the third one, in the mind, that I'm going to be talking to you about today. So I'm a personal trainer and I'm a gym owner, but another thing that you might not know about me is that I also do hypnotherapy and NLP coaching. NLP stands for Neuro-linguistic programming. But what I do is I help people to break through the barriers that are holding them back in order to change their behaviours and therefore change their outcomes. Now, the thing that you might not know about change is that when it happens, it's a little strange for our mind to deal with. Now, our mind is split into 2 kind of areas, if you like. The conscious mind and the unconscious mind. Now, sometimes we have so much to take in, so many little choices and decisions to make, that if we have repeat behaviours and things that are perhaps simple and easy to do, our mind takes care of it on its own. It's done unconsciously without us having to actually make effort and choose and actively think what we want to do. For example, if that sort of behaviour, i.e. going into the cupboard or the fridge and eating perhaps certain foods that you buy in that you know you shouldn't really be having now, if that is continuing to happen, then that's because your unconscious mind is taking care of that behaviour for you. And it's doing that because you used to do it. You have repeat behaviours. Now, I don't know how long you've been on this kind of healthy, lean vibe, and it's great that you are, but think, how long have you been off of it? You've been doing something, you've been thinking a certain way for a certain amount of time. Your unconscious mind is taking care of a lot of those thoughts automatically. And what you need to do right now is override that process. Otherwise, you're actually going to end up sabotaging yourself again and again. Now, I'm sure that if I was to ask you, are you ready for some positive changes, that you would say yes. And that you want to get those physical changes to your body because you're watching this video right now. So I know and you know that you want that outcome. So what we need to be attentive to is that all change happens in the mind. Now, people say that knowledge is power. Well, really it holds no power at all unless the application of that knowledge is taken and carried and done. So it's the application of knowledge that holds the real power. I've given you some advice in the kitchen and in the gym, and now I'm going to teach you how you can overcome those cravings and take control of your outcomes in order to get where you want to be, not end up where you were before or perhaps even worse. So we want long-term change. I'm a long-term change kind of guy. I don't want to give you something that's just going to help you for 2 or 3 weeks and then lead you to a false positive result in order for you to actually end up worse off in the future. This is what happens with most diets and exercise plans. We get drawn into the flashing lights and the prospect of losing half a stone in a day or whatever it might be. But the truth is, long-term results aren't really that exciting to sell or to push on to people. But really, we all want them. You want to be happy. At the end of the day, that's the emotion that you want. That's the thing that you're driving towards. I want you to take into consideration this formula. Our emotions power our thoughts, and our thoughts power our behaviours, and it's our behaviours that bring us our outcomes, i.e. our results. So if your emotions are wired and your thoughts are wired to a previous way of living, then you're always going to end up doing those behaviours and getting the same result. So we need to rewire the way that you think, especially in these moments where you get these cravings. So let me teach you a way that you can use almost like a mind trick in order to overcome these cravings. Now, the way that our brains work as we grow up and as we make associations for different things and different feelings using our senses and experiences, we end up linking things. We link certain images to certain places, or certain smells to certain people, or perhaps certain music to certain experiences and memories and feelings that we get when we hear that music. Is there a certain piece of music that when you hear, it just takes you back to that moment where you were in your life and that song was playing and you felt certain emotions? I'm sure that there are. And that's a prime example of something that's been associated to a certain emotion or way of thinking based on the surroundings that we experience. Now, that might sound all a bit complicated for you, but all you need to understand is that if we can create a new association today, an association between a simple action with your hand and an outcome that is a positive one, just think what you could do each time you get those cravings. Imagine if you could overcome any cravings that you get and end up choosing the right thing to do instead of finding yourself 5 minutes later with empty wrappers all around you and a position that you know you didn't want to be in the first place. Now, this might still be happening to you, and it can't go on. It simply has to change if you're to change. So let's do this today. Let's create a new positive association between an action, which is going to be a clenched fist, and a result, which is going to be mindful thinking. This will only work if you're open-minded towards this kind of thing. It will only work if you're a strong-minded person, but I think that you know you are because you're watching this video right now, and I think that tells you a lot about what you want to do with this. Because you're taking the time, you're making the effort to learn, and you're showing yourself that you want change. So with that in mind, you need to be aware that this needs to be conditioned again and again and again. If you do it once, that's like an internal win. And we just got to get as many internal wins as we can. It's almost like patting yourself on the back when you choose the right way. When you say no to certain foods that you know are going to hold you back. Finally, this will only work if you know, mindfully, that you want change. You've got to know that you want it, and you've got to know that you're ready to get the personal changes that you want. To change your body in order to feel happier about who you are, more confident in social situations, to improve your work life, improve your relationships with other people, and of course, to get healthier. So if you want, and you know you want all those things, then this will work for you. So we're going to create a new association based around that movement there. And what's going to happen is when you're faced with the cravings, you're going to do that, and it's going to allow you to choose mindfully a different direction, one that's going to take you towards a place you want to be, one that's going to take you towards happiness rather than sabotage. So I want you to think of the absolute most exciting thing, most exciting and appealing feeling that you could get if you were to become the person that you want to become. Make the changes that you want to change to your body. Think about what that brings to you. What is the word that comes to mind when you think forward into the future and become that person? Is it excitement? Is it confidence? Is it happiness? Is it joy? What is the word that you get that basically sums up what you want to become? Think about that word and make sure that it is the word that best sums up what you want. Make sure that that word is a positive word and it isn't something that you're running away from. Make sure it's something that you really do want and desire more than anything. Now, if you're struggling to get hold of that word, press pause, it's fine. Take your time and make sure that you get it. If you're watching this right now, I'm assuming that you've got that word in your head. So you can either sit there as you are now, or you can close your eyes and just listen. But I want you to think about that word and get all of the feelings and notice the changes inside of your body as you think about that word again and again. You might even want to just repeat it very quietly to yourself if you're on your own. Otherwise people might think you're a bit crazy. But anyway, get that word in your head again and again and again and just make a fist. And what we're doing right now is we're creating a new neuro-association between that action, holding your fist tight, and the feeling and the excitement that you're getting from that word that you want to become. Now notice the changes as you make that connection between the hand and your feelings that you want, the outcome that you want, and the desirable thing that you really want to achieve, and notice how strong that gets now. Link that up. That action leads to the thoughts and the processes that you must do in order to be that word. Now, shake it off. This is how it works. You're faced in a situation in the near future. You might even be able to think of one that could arise where you get those cravings. Perhaps you are at home and some show comes on TV that you may have been linked to get a cup of tea and maybe some biscuits. Or think about maybe cake day at work. The cakes come around and it's just something that you used to do, but you know that you're going to have to change that now if you're to be successful. So here's what you do. Figure out that exact moment when that craving comes. Notice the craving appear inside of you, the feelings start to come, you start hearing those voices saying to do it, and then you're going to interrupt that pattern, because all that is a previous way of thinking on an unconscious level. It's almost like a hypnotic loop. You're going to break that loop and you're going to create a new way of thinking that's actually more attractive and more valuable for you in the long run. Because the old way of thinking wasn't working for you. It was taking you places you don't want to be anymore, places of discomfort, places where you feel down about yourself, where you don't allow yourself to shine as a person and be confident. That's not what you want anymore. You want something different. So we're going to lay a new way. We're going to get this new thought process, and the more you do it, the more you're going to encourage it to happen automatically. Now imagine that. Imagine if it did happen automatically, if you just chose the right thing every time. I'd like to think that I'm capable of doing this, and so are some of my clients that I've been working with for a long time. But it does take conditioning. So again, here's the situation. The craving comes in, clench the fist, break that pattern by allowing yourself to feel that word that you were thinking of. You've interrupted the pattern already, and you've allowed yourself some breathing space to actually think, be mindful about what you actually want in this situation. Do you want to choose the old way, or do you want to go somewhere else that's perhaps a healthier, happier place? And I think I know which one you're going to choose. In that case, allow yourself to break the pattern and make that decision, make that choice. If you do that, and you do that enough, think about the great momentum that you're going to build. All it takes is a series of good choices. Your choices literally shape your results. Remember, if you choose the right thing to do in those nasty, tempting situations, then eventually you're going to change your body. It doesn't matter how hard you smash yourself at the gym, how healthy you eat breakfast, lunch and dinner. If it's those little moments of cravings and temptations that you cannot be mindful enough to overcome, then you're going to be back where you started, if not worse, in a few weeks or months. You have to be mindful and know exactly what you want. So think about that word, because that is what you want. I mean, at the end of the day, you're here because you want to change. You're watching this video because you want to know how you can get lean. Well, this is how you do it. Think about breaking that pattern. Think about what you really want out of the situation. Is it the short-term taste that you've probably tasted before? I mean, that's crazy. You know what chocolate tastes like. It's not going to change if you were to eat it this time. It doesn't taste any different. But you also know that it is going to harm your results. It's going to take you back to where you don't want to be. Instead, think about doing something different. Think about eating an alternative or doing a different behavior that's actually going to lead you to a happier, healthier lifestyle where you can be the best version of yourself. That is what makes the difference. That is how you master this thing called getting lean. It's what you do in your mind. And I've waited until the third video to share this with you because most people aren't ready for it right away. Most people need to kind of learn about what to eat and what to do in the gym first before they presented with this. But I tell you what, if there was a secret, this is the secret. It's how you think that will shape your reality. So think positive, think about what you want to achieve. Hold that, use that system, that new anchor that you've now established inside of your head. At the moment, it's just a weak anchor, but you've got to strengthen it, make it stronger and more powerful the more that you do it. And every time you make a good choice, that's an inner win that's leading you to a better place instead of where you were before or worse. So I know you can do this, and one of the things that you're going to need to do is continually update your knowledge and your progress in those three areas, in the kitchen, in the gym, and in the mind. Now I can help you with that because soon I'm going to be opening the doors to the Get Lean Blueprint online course. This is a 6-week journey that takes you from position A, somewhere where you know you want to make some changes, right through to position B, which is actually making those changes. Learning about different foods and the way that you can combine foods to make sure that you cover all of your bases, knowing that you're eating so that you wake up leaner every day. I also help and teach you how you can exercise, showing you exercise videos in order for you to know exactly what to do to shape your body. And then of course I give you the motivational help that you need in the mind. I want to take you from position A, which is perhaps somewhere you don't want to be anymore, to position B, where you can become a better version of yourself, a version that is happier and healthier by following 6 modules, 1 each week, in all 3 areas that I'm sure you're getting to know very well now: in the kitchen, in the gym, and in the mind. Allow me to take you on that journey. Now, if you want to get involved right now, if you don't want to waste any time, then there is a link underneath this video that will take you through to the early bird special. You get a special discount that will let you get access to the information right away and get started immediately. Otherwise, I'll be in touch with you in a couple of days about the ins and outs of the course, what it includes, and how I can help you on a much deeper level. Because hey, if you've enjoyed these videos over the last few days, then you will love the Get Lean Blueprint course, because it's all improved. It has 6 modules in all 3 of those areas. There's a heap of bonuses involved as well. And one of the things which I'm going to throw in this time round is an exclusive private Facebook group for everyone that takes on the Get Lean Blueprint course this time. You'll be involved in this Facebook group where you'll have immediate access to me, and you can help share recipes and workout plans and bounce ideas off of other people that are doing the exact same journey as you are. So with that in mind, I'll speak to you very soon about the ins and outs of the course, but if you want to get involved right now, you can. Save some money, click the link below, and that'll take you through to the early bird special. Otherwise, thanks again for watching this video. If you missed any of the other 2, there's links above me here where you can click through and watch those. I hope that you found this useful. You can use this anchoring system now, and if you didn't manage to establish that anchor and really get a feel for that feeling and that benefit that you want in your life, then just go ahead and watch that bit again. All right? You can go and you can retrace your steps and build that positive connection. I'll speak to you again very soon. Have a great day, make some good choices, and get those inner wins. Take care. Bye-bye.